I mean, it was kind of crazy. Like, it was one of those things that.
Could they make a film about it?
Yeah, well, I think they should. We're obviously stressed as anything, you know. I remember saying, like, if he wins, we're straight in. Like, I'm going mad.
Yeah.
Home country competing in there, they tend to do better most of the time. Once they're in the door, everyone loves it.
Liam, thanks for joining us today.
Good to be
All
here.
to talk about the World Team Table Tennis Championships coming back to London in 2026. Obviously, you're no stranger to playing at the highest level in the world, no stranger to the World Championships. Your highest world ranking was number 12 in the world.
Yep.
When you were going towards number 12 in the world, tell us about some of the players that you played and some of the levels, the stages that you played at.
So for me, probably the big step was World Championships I think it all started in 2014. We were obviously in the second division. We had been for a while of World Championships. Back then when they had 6 divisions or whatever, we were always second division. We were in Tokyo in 2014. We won the second division. It was me, Paul, Sam, Danny Reid. It was a big achievement for us, you know. Kuala Lumpur 2016, we'd be playing first division, you know. We could give ourselves a go against the big guys. Obviously, we went there with no expectations. You know, I think Andrew Bagger got injured leading into the event, so we only had 3 players and nobody could step up. So we were just like, I remember we were out in Singapore and we had the conversation. We were just like, look, we'll just go with 3. Let's, you know, we've got nothing to lose. We'll just go for it. Ended up I mean, it was kind of crazy. Like, it was one of those things that you can't imagine really happening.
Could they make a film about it?
Yeah, well, I think they should. No, we went there. We had a tough group. We knew, like, we had Germany, France, Sweden in the group, Denmark. And
if you look now, they're the leading forces in table tennis, right? And they were back then.
They still were. And obviously, I remember first match, I think we lost to Sweden, then we lost to France, and we were kind of like, okay. Luckily, we played Germany. I think Dima and Timo didn't play. So we were like, okay, we've got a chance here. You know, still a strong team, Steger, Felis, Francisca. We ended up winning. We all won one match. We beat them. We beat Malaysia, beat Denmark, and we were still like not sure to go through because 3 went through at the time. I think we needed Sweden to beat Germany in the end, and that would knock Germany out. Anyway, I think they were absolute nail biting, 3-2.
Yeah,
and we ended up going through, and then from there, I think we kind of got a nice draw. We played Poland in the last 16. Paul won 2, I won 1. Great. Ended up playing France again. They beat us 3-0 in the group.
Yeah.
It was one of them, like, I think everything just went our way. Like, it was flying. Like, even in the last match, Paul was, I think he was 10-6 up, then he was 11-10 down. It was just a roller coaster of like 2 weeks or whatever it was. And, you know, I think for English table tennis, it was huge. Like, I don't think, you know, I don't want to say it won't happen again, but it's a tough thing to do. And I don't think we probably realised how big it was, you know, for us, and not just us as players, but as a nation and table tennis. Like, that was kind of the first step where I thought, okay, you know, we can do something in table tennis. You know, we've got a chance.
Yeah. If I show you this winning moment of you guys in Kuala Lumpur,
Paul, when he played
the famous one, beats Leverson. Look at his face. I'm not sure you get over that barrier these days.
I don't think I would.
What did it mean to you in that moment? Obviously, you just explained the impact that it had afterwards. But in that moment, obviously, when nothing's sinking in, you're going crazy. What did it mean to you?
I remember sitting, obviously, I'm sat next to Sam on the bench, and I remember we're obviously stressed as anything, you know. I remember saying, like, if he wins, we're straight in. Like, I'm going mad. Yeah. I mean, I think I pushed him out. I was like, I'm getting in there first. Like,
I don't blame you.
It's a good job I don't weigh that much. So I think I almost knocked Paul over in that moment. But no, it was something that'll live with me forever.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably one of proudest moments of table tennis achievement-wise, because it was something that, you know, nobody thought could happen. I don't think nobody would have said, "Oh, England win a World Championship medal with that team," you know, at that stage in our careers.
Yeah. Obviously, you win a bronze medal at the World Team Championships in Kuala Lumpur 2016, and then we fast forward to 2018 in London at the Copper Box on home soil. What changed, and what did you take from Kuala Lumpur into the Copper Box that made you so successful? And tell us the story.
I just think at the time we were just like, as a team, we just had, like, we believed in each other. We knew, like, okay, even if we weren't favourites, you know, especially against Japan or like, I think we had Egypt in the group. We played Brazil in the quarter-final to get the medal. You know, we just knew that we could do it. We'd done it before. You know, it's one of them, like, if you've never done it before, it's a bit like, oh, you know, when it gets close, you're almost like, you know, do I know how to do it? Am I good enough to do it? Whereas knowing that we'd already done it in Kuala Lumpur, I think it was like, you know, no, we can do this again. Like, you know, we can win these world medals as a team. And yeah, I mean, it was amazing to play in front of a home crowd. It was, you know, and the Copper Box was packed. Like, it was crazy. Obviously, the Chinese team were there. There's a lot of fans for them, but you know, knowing how big it could be in England was a special feeling, and obviously to take the medal and do a lap of honour in front of the whole crowd, it was nice. Yeah, it was another feeling, you know, close to Kuala Lumpur, probably not at that level, but to do it in front of a home crowd was obviously added a special feeling to it.
And obviously for you individually in that tournament, you beat Tomokazu Harimoto and you beat Hugo Calderano, two of the biggest names in table tennis. So I think it just shows, you know, Liam Pitchford, you've been competing with these guys for such a long time now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously at that point, especially in 2018, probably not so much in 2016, but in 2018 I was playing probably some of the best table tennis that year, and I knew, you know, I could beat anybody. Obviously that year I beat Marlong and Ovtcharov, Timo, you know, a lot of players. That was a couple of years after, but you know, it was at that time, you know, I believed I could do it, and I think as a team at that time we were kind of like, you know, not so much reliant on me winning two anyway. Like, it was more like, you know, Paul and Sam were good together in doubles. Paul was playing at a strong level. Sam was as well. Like, we were all sort of top 100 at the time. Like, you know, we knew that we were there and thereabouts. And then, yeah, it's good to look back. I don't really look back that much on it. And it's probably nice sometimes to actually look back and realise, you know, we did do well. You know,
yeah,
we had some good results.
Yeah, certainly one to be proud of. And, you know, at the Copper Box, you mentioned that packed atmosphere. You know, we recently attended the WTT Star Contender in London, the first ever Star Contender in London. You know, and that packed vibe, you could just feel that. And, you know, Connor beating Feng Yi-Sin, the boys reaching the medaling in the doubles, Paul and Anna Hersey combining. Tell us about that tournament and what having that special atmosphere in the crowd, especially a home crowd, never mind just a packed crowd, brings to you as players.
I think it can add, you know, a couple of points a set at least. You know, if you know that, you know, you've got the whole crowd behind you to lift you, it gives you that extra, you know, you want to do it for not just for yourself, but for the crowd as well, put on a good performance. I think you see it a lot in, not just in table tennis, but in sports, you know, home country competing in there, they tend to do better most of the time just because of that home support. So yeah, it was a bit of a different situation for me. I was there obviously being injured, looking in from the outside, but no, it was nice to see the guys performing well and hopefully taking the torch from me soon. You know, it's been, I think that's what we needed for a while in table tennis, especially in England. Like,
we mentioned how important is this centenary World Championships, especially in London. What do you think is so special about 100 years of table tennis?
I mean, table tennis started here, so to bring it back on the 100th year of the World Championships, I think it's a great step. I think it's what needed to be done. I think having big events like this in London is a big way to grow table tennis.
Yep.
I think you can fill stadiums here, obviously with a lot of diverse multicultures, and there are a lot of fans of table tennis around in England, but they don't tend to get access to these high-profile events, or to see the big stars come over. And obviously having China definitely being there, it's I think you can fill Wembley Arena with that for sure.
That's what we're certainly hoping for, and I think all that support's only going to help. So you mentioned that obviously it's back where it all began. Table tennis started here in England, in Norfolk actually.
Really?
Obviously this World Championships is going to be in London, but what we want to know is where it all began for you. And tell us about your first ever table tennis club. What's the first battle in Pitchford ever picked up?
Can't actually remember. I'm getting old, losing my memory, I think. No, I obviously grew up in Chesterfield. Not many people probably know where that is, but near Sheffield, I'd say. No, it was at the time. I kind of played football, tennis when I was young, county level tennis. Normally, at break time at school, junior school, I was like 8 or 9. We'd go out and play football. It was raining. They had a table tennis lunchtime club on, so me and a couple of mates just went along, and we played most sports. I love all sports. I went along and I just sort of fell in love with it straight away. I was kind of like, there's so much involved that, tweaked my interests, like, the spin, the speed, the different. And I was like, yeah, And again, it was more, obviously I played tennis, and tennis is a little bit different. It was definitely more of an individual sport. I kind of felt like, you don't really engage with other kids or whatever, but table tennis I felt it was just a lot more social. I'd go there, we'd play, after I have a laugh with my mates. It's one of them that kept me tied in, really. And yeah, I just carried on, went to the local club. It was actually like, they used to have, there was one part of it that was like the advanced players, and we obviously started in the other group that was just beginners, first starting up.
As we all do.
Yeah, and then within like a couple of months, they were all right, you're ready for the advanced bit, and probably helped that I played tennis. I had a bit of a natural talent for the sport, and then just took it from there. Remember getting scouted for like a EYS camp back in the England youth squad camp, going to Lilleshall when I was like 11, 12, and that was when I met Dave Macbeth, and then we've obviously grown to be best mates now. And it's nice that you go through that in life. You meet new people and you have new experiences, and table tennis definitely helped me in a lot of ways in life. Not just obviously playing wise, but meeting new people and making new friends, and just being able to express myself in different ways.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so you mentioned the first camp in England. 2 questions. First one, we want to know when the first time you put an England shirt on your back was, when you represented England. And I think more importantly, as an 11-year-old young lad, goes to an England camp, he's away from home for the weekend, he's training, and we spoke about this a lot off camera. How do you stay focused so young and driven to reach the level that you reached?
When did I first play on an England shirt? I think I actually played it was almost like a mini like 4 nations or 6 nations event, but there was like teams from like Baden-Württemberg in Germany. It was like one of them. I don't know. It was in Cardiff. I remember it was me and Dave in the team, and we must have been like 10 or 11. It was, I remember the old butterfly shirt back in the day, the red and black one. Yeah, I probably still got it at home, but I think that was the first time And from then I was like, I want to be in the men's team. Like, I think just for me, I always grew up very competitive. Like, people that know me know, in good ways and bad ways, probably. I'm very competitive, like, in anything. Like, I hate losing, and I think that helped me reach the level that I reached. I just didn't want to do. I wanted to be the best, and even if I couldn't be, I believe that I could be, if that makes sense. Like, even if obviously there's other factors that happen, opponents and whatever, but I believed, if I gave everything, I could get to a very high level, and that's probably what helped me. It's not easy. You go for ups and downs. That's sport. Like, you can't win every match. And probably learning that. I mean, probably a lot of people in table tennis in England knew when I was young. I used to bore my eyes out. But that had helped me play better somehow. Like, if you speak to people, they'll say, when they saw me start crying, when I'm 11, 12, like, they knew I was going to play better. It's a weird one.
Don't make him angry.
Yeah.
So obviously we have we both know there's a big existing audience of table tennis fans in England, around the world. Obviously there's people that kind of come and watch the sport for the first time, they fall in love, just like me and you did. What would you say to people, both existing and new audiences? What can they expect coming up at the Worlds, and about how much it would mean to you guys as players to fill this copper box, fill the Wembley Stadium for the support?
I think it'd mean everything. Obviously, I think it's tough for a sport like table tennis to get people through the door in the first place, but once they're in the door, everyone loves it. They can see the spin more. Obviously, I think if you watch it online, you don't really get a sense of how much spin's in the ball. And then it's easy to go, how's he missed that receive or whatever, like, and then they go, what's the point in watching this? But when you see it live, you see that you get more of a sort of audience for, like, you can see the spin, you can see the speed, you can hear the ball, and I think people get grabbed by that. So I'd say to them, just come down and give it a go. Come and watch. Like, we need all the support because it's going to be tough for us in that first division, but we've been there before, we've done it before. Surprises happen all the time.
Yeah. Well, Liam, thank you so much for joining our Road to the World Series, and we can't wait to see you back on that table whenever that may be, and we'll see you in London.
Sooner rather than later, hopefully.
Sooner rather than later. I certainly hope so, mate. Thank you so much for today.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers. Thank you for coming down.
Tickets are live now for the World Team Table Tennis Championships in London 2026. Links below. Get them before they're gone.
London 2026, back where it all began.